Look, I come from a city, you hear signs when we sleep. Heaven sent, hands down, vibes so unique. They ain't play their part, so my part is play for keeps. Why I a kid, but I never saw that.
Hey, welcome everybody to Lock, Loaded, and Goated. I'm your host, Brandon Andrews, and with me, as always, we got Tony Pardo, Jeff Riddle Jr., and Jordan Elkins. So to start the show off this week, we wanted to pay homage to a legend of college football Saturdays, somebody that we have all grown up with and really helped build the foundation of what instills college football to us, and that is Lee Corso. He will be doing his last headgear pick this Saturday. So we're going to start you off with a little memorial of some of our favorite moments from Lee Corso's headgear picks, and then we'll get into the show. Well, awesome.
I'll tell you one thing.
That's all. I don't know.
Here we go. Uh-oh, we got special headgear coming out of here. Look out, give him some help here. Look out.
What are you doing here?
How about them dogs? Oh, my goodness. I think we know which way Lee is going.
Fans, huh?
No.
All right, not so fast,
Right
my
here.
friend. Notice this. It says Florida State, national champs, 1998. Gold.
I would live in Athens if I didn't live in Orlando.
I would have gone to Georgia if I didn't go to Florida State. But that dog is ugly. Give me this thing here. That's an ugly dog. Let me hear the song. Let me hear the song. Let me hear the song. Hold that tiger. Hold that tiger. Hold that tiger. Hold that tiger.
Go Bulldogs!
Yale Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bulldogs.
Oh, wow.
Not so fast, midget. Not so fast. How can you pick against SMU? Look at that one there. Red, white, and blue. USA. Ah, fuck it. Hey! Can I pull the trigger again? Yes, I can. Give me Pistol Pete! Give me Pistol Pete!
Oh, just hold on here. There we go. There we go. Seriously. Oh, everybody take cover. The big boy. There it comes again. Oh.
Lee, where are you?
Out here!
Where's the headgear pick?
Hey, come here!
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. Help him.
The headgear will serve as the helmet. And off into the sunrise.
All right, we're back. This one's for you, Lee. We appreciate all that you've brought to us, and like I said, college football won't be the same without you. So, with that said, that's a good segue into our first topic, and that is our favorite Lee Corso moment in honor of his last headgear pick. Tony, you're there at the top, so we're going to let you go ahead and lead us off. What's your favorite Lee Corso headgear pick?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't really have a favorite. I think a lot of us have seen most of the iconic moments that he's had. But I kind of want to pull a stat boy move here, though, with Corso. Some interesting facts when it pertains to him on college game day. Corso had a 286 and 144 record on his picks overall, which is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
He picked 69 different teams. He picked Ohio State 45 times, which is most of any team. He went 11-0 in 1999 with his mascot picks, and he was undefeated with 3 teams. USC, that had to be in the early 2000s. Virginia Tech, 4-0, and North Dakota State, 3-0. Obviously, he was no dummy. You know, it's a shame that this new generation, the youth's not going to be able to see, the Corso that we seen when he's in his prime, because I mean, game day, 25 years ago or so, 25 years ago, that's what you look forward to, was literally the very end of it, for him to make his little mascot picks. That was always fun. But it's sad to see him go, but, that's just life. And pretty much so long to a legend.
There you go. Riddle, your favorite pick?
We talked about this off the live, and mine's still got to be that, I think it was SMU, the clip in the video package where he's just, fuck it, and throws the megaphone. But another good one that really cracked me up was the Alabama-Georgia game, and it was also in the clip, and that was where, he called Uga, that's one ugly dog, and just going in on Uga and everything, and he didn't miss because we didn't win. So
I really liked that. He didn't lie, though. He didn't lie.
No, very, very,
very ugly dog.
Very impressed with those stats there you pulled out there, Tony. That was nice.
Yeah, Tony had some stats for us. Tony had some stats.
Maybe I can impress you one time.
Yeah. Jordan, your favorite moment?
I don't have just one. I was, fortunate enough to be one of those kids in that generation that grew up that we didn't watch Saturday morning cartoons. We watched College Game Day. That was what we did Saturdays in the fall. And for all the great memories through childhood, all I say is thank you, Coach.
Yep. Yeah, that's amen to that. So, like Jordan said, most of us grew up from a very, very young age watching College Game Day. And honestly, you can put Pat McAfee, you could put the Incredible Hulk on there. It's probably never going to be the same without Corso and his dynamic that he brought to the table and the headgear pick. So, with that said, my favorite moment at the end of it was the Oregon Duck, and it wasn't even an Alabama moment. When he got on that bike, I remember it because it was like 4:00 for them over there, so they could go live at the early time when we started doing the game day earlier. And I remember that. I remember him getting on the motorcycle, and it was just electric. So Corso never let us down. He was always good for a laugh. So like I said, like Tony said, cheers to him. But we got to move on, and now we are to the segment known as Riddle's Riddle, and we're going to go ahead and ask our trivia question. So everyone here that it's, reward the early birds, you get a chance to win this thing.
All right. So this week's question is going to come from the BCS era. And before I ask this question, just remember the BCS rankings didn't come out until around week 10 every year during the BCS era.
He's telling y'all this because I messed up.
Yeah. So the BCS era ran from 1998 to 2013 with 125 rankings being revealed and 17 teams holding the number one spot at least once. In that era, what team spent the most weeks as the number one ranked team in the BCS era?
Good question. Good question. Like I said, if you know the answer, throw it in the chat. First three, we're keeping points. And Riddle, appreciate another good question there. That was good. Kippy says Jordan's last week when he said Aguilar. Is that at Christina Aguilera will make it to the playoffs?
Troy said not Tennessee on the trivia question.
Yeah. I honestly, dude, I felt terrible because I was going through looking for clips for Tennessee, and there wasn't many. I remember the one where Miami came to play Tennessee in 99-ish. I don't know. Tennessee, I think, won that game, but there wasn't many. Obviously, they went through some issues there, but that's not a big deal.
I was actually at a game day in Tennessee in 2000 or 2001, the Catch against Florida. Game day was there that morning, and we got up and went to that game.
I don't remember. The only time I was at Tennessee, and I don't think game day was there, was Tennessee, Florida, where Tennessee finally beat Florida by 1 point. I was there for that game.
Oh, that was 2001, so it was 2000 was the Catch game. But
I was there for that game.
Jabbar fucking Gaffney.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on. So what we wanted to do this week, we are getting ready for real football. None of this week 0 shit. None of this -1. We're here. We're at week 1 of college football, and we are primed. We're ready. All of our teams are playing, and we're excited. So what we want to do is go ahead and give our conference champion predictions. This is for fun. No one gives a shit about the Pac-2, but we picked it anyway. So here we are. And what we're going to do is, I think what we're going to do is let's do this. Let's have fun with it. Tony, you get to pick any conference. You pick the conference. Riddle, you'll pick the next one. And then we'll all go down our list and we'll just keep it fun. When we get to the Power Four, I would like to have a prediction and a dark horse. Only on the Power Four, though. Tony, pick a conference.
Well, hey, we'll just get the little scrubs out of the way. We'll just go Conference USA.
Conference USA. Give you your pick.
Yep. I got Liberty. That's
good
what
pick.
I'm rolling with.
Good pick, brother.
Good pick.
Yeah, there it is. There's the not so fast, midget. Not so fast.
It was challenging.
All right.
But yeah.
Riddle, who you got, brother?
Yeah, I got Liberty. They're actually in my top 25 ranking right now because they have the easiest schedule in the nation. So yeah, I've got Liberty winning that one.
I've got Liberty too. I think they have a really good shot at being a group of 5 playoff contender. I'm not saying they will. I said they have a shot. It'll be between them and James Madison for me. But all right, go ahead, Jordan.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh, there it is.
Western Kentucky.
Ooh, Western Kentucky.
The Hilltoppers
Okay.
win Conference USA this year.
Okay, hey, that's a bold prediction, and I
I'm not
like
mad
it.
at it.
I like it. I like it. So Jordan throwing out a little not so fast. I'm happy with that. Riddle, throw out a conference. You start us off.
Let's go with the Mountain West. This one should be pretty unanimous all the way across. We can get through this one pretty quick.
Okay, go ahead. You're up.
And then I've got Boise State. I was seriously considered UNLV until I watched them in that first game, and then it was Boise State. So
I am gonna go UNLV. I think the rust will get knocked off. I think the Fighting Mullins will somehow just figure it out. I don't know. I actually think Boise could lose week 1. So I know it's not a conference game, but anyway. All right, I'm going UNLV. So for fun, Jordan.
Yeah, I wanted to go UNLV, but after that stinker last it's got to be boys. It's got to be the Turf Smurfs.
The Turf Smurfs. Get it?
I like it.
Tony, you got Turf Smurfs?
Yeah, I'm going Boise State until further notice. I mean, how many years they've won that shit in a row now?
They've won a lot.
Yeah, so
who's
until
there to
someone
beat
else
them?
beats them, I can.
Yeah.
Until someone else does it, then I'm just going to pick them. So,
well, I'm going to go to the most intriguing conference in all of America, and that's the Pac-2. And I'm going to start us off. I'm going to put my money on Wazoo, mainly because I don't give a shit which one of these two teams beat each other to a fucking ends of submission. So, Jordan, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going Oregon State in the Pac-2. They've made some good off-season additions. I like their chance to win that battle, that two horse race.
Hey, either way, they're gonna finish second. So
Consolation prize ain't bad.
They'll be in the championship game, guarantee it.
Hey, Ricky Bobby's dad was right on this one. If you ain't first, you last in that conference.
That's right. Tony, who you got?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna write off Jordan. I have Oregon State as well. I mean,
man, God dang, I'm on the wrong side of history here. That's all right. Riddle, who you got?
I actually have Washington State here trying to get revenge in the Pac-2.
Somebody got to have brass balls.
I got a 50-50 chance here. So, but no, I'd like to see Washington State win the big Pac-2. I know it's a super competitive conference.
Yeah. I really could give a shit less if I lose that one. So, all right, Jordan, you're up. Pick a conference. Go at it.
Let's just do something that could get kind of wild. There could be 4 different answers in this one. Let's go with the MAC.
Oh,
I'm rolling with the Buffalo Bulls.
That's
Good pick.
That's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick. Okay, Tony.
Yeah, that's going to be my opinion. Toledo. Holy Toledo.
Holy Toledo. All right.
The Glass House.
Riddle.
I also had Toledo. I looked at a few different ones. I just like Toledo's schedule, and I think they'll win that one.
I I also have Toledo, and I just wanted to note for Kippy that that's not SEC bias because Toledo's not in the SEC. So go Toledo. Go Toledo.
And, hey, can I just cut in real fast?
Yes.
Troy's the only one that has thrown an answer in, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell him that is not correct.
well, it is correct. Is it not correct? Oh, okay. Florida.
No.
I see. Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Tony.
Yo.
So we went through the Pac-2. We went to the MAC. We did
Brandon,
the conference.
who was your MAC?
I said Toledo.
Oh, okay.
And then we did the Mountain West. So we have what? Out of the non-Power 4, we have the American and the Sun Belt left?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tony, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll get Sun Belt here. I'm going back to James Madison. I know they kind of last year wasn't their best year compared to the previous year before, but I'll go with them again since they did do me right when it comes to spreads there for a minute. So yeah, give me James Madison.
Okay. Go ahead, Riddle.
I believe that this is the first year that they're eligible for postseason play since they moved up to Division I.
That's correct.
Otherwise, they probably would have already won a couple of Sun Belt championships. But yeah, I've got James Madison winning the Sun Belt this year as well.
I don't see anyone standing in their way. I don't know what they're doing at James Madison, but they're doing a really good job. Probably the most efficient transfer from one division to the next that I've ever seen. I've never seen a team come up and just completely, just dominate their conference like that. So James Madison for me. Jordan?
Not so fast, my friend. Again.
God dang.
I'm going to roll with the Bobcats of Texas State.
That was number 2 for me. Okay. I like it. Riddle, we're going to throw a little curveball. We're going to go Ohio Valley Conference. Go. I'm fucking with you. SEMO.
They're not even Division I.
Tennessee Tech. The Eagles are the favorite right now to win that conference.
I know.
Tech's got a good football team in that conference, so that's a FCS. I went ready for FCS.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead, Riddle. Lead us on the last one.
So in the American, this is another team that's got a chance to be a Group of 5 representative.
Mm-hmm.
I got Tulane here, so winning the American.
It came down to Tulane or Army for me, and I went Tulane. I don't like the one one kind of attack there, so I'm gonna go Tulane.
I will say I was this close to picking Memphis. Just because,
dude, they got some fight in them. Jordan.
Matter of fact, I am rolling with Memphis.
Okay,
they're always tough out in that conference. It's never easy playing down there.
I'm not mad at it.
Tony.
Not mad at it at all.
Tony.
No, I'm not going Memphis. They screwed me too many times last year on spreads. Give me Tulane. Tulane.
Tony picks with his heart.
Yeah, I do.
All right, so I'm up, and I'm going to go independent, and I'm going to pick Notre Dame. I'm sorry.
Tony, you did get Tulane. You said Tulane for the American. I was looking at the.
You give them a run for their money.
So
I was looking at the answers coming in the chat.
So I'm here. I'm gonna save the SEC for last. You guys do what you want. I'm gonna go. So this is where we start doing dark horse. So I'm gonna do a Big 12. So I think the clear-cut favorite for most of us is going to be Arizona State. They bring back what I would consider a top 5 quarterback in Leavitt. And I think that's a given. My dark horse is no longer Kansas State. My dark horse is Texas Tech because I think the money shows up and I think the transfers show up. And I don't think they win it. I just said they're a dark horse. I think they finish second behind Arizona State, but they have a shot. Jordan.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be a shocker to you. I'm going with Kansas. I think the Jayhawks get it done this year.
That's a shock. That's the biggest one so far.
Get it
he
done.
loves that.
After the
Tony loves that pick.
After the absolute egg they laid last year, I think they right the ship this year. I think Kansas gets it done and gets in the playoff as Big 12 champion.
I think they definitely have a player that is competing for Big 12 Player of the Year between him and probably Becht or whatever Becht. Rocco. I think it's going to be close.
Mhm.
So Tony. Oh no, Jordan.
Well,
Dark horse.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't call him a dark horse, but my second pick would be Arizona State.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. Tony.
Yeah, so me and Jordan just going to flip flop then.
Ooh.
Obviously, I like Arizona State now, but obviously I do like Kansas as well. I mean, that's last year if they, didn't start off on the wrong foot. That's like they had 2 left feet to begin the season. They had injuries. Offensive side of the ball too didn't help them, but once a few of them come back towards the end of the season, they start rolling and. Quarterback play is always big. It's what we say, anyways. And they got him.
The biggest.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm still going to stick with Arizona State. Hell, I think I even said that they could be a top 4 seed. So I got to stick with that. But I do like Kansas. Like if Arizona State doesn't, I could see Kansas doing it. Hell, maybe even Utah. But I'm going to still pick Kansas as my dark horse.
I'm not going to lie to you. That is a team to watch. That's a team to watch. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not changing. I'm not reneging on anything. I'm just saying that's a team to watch. Riddle, close us out.
Honestly, I think there's about a 6-team race of teams that could potentially win the Big 12 this year. You look at those teams; they're very evenly stacked. I'll throw out my dark horse first, and I still think Iowa State's got a pretty good team. I know they won a monsoon against Kansas State, so I'd like to see them play in the States on a dry field before I make my final evaluation there. But they are one of the 6 teams that could potentially win that conference. I've got Arizona State. I think they're the most complete team. Watch out for Texas Tech, though. There's a lot of people really high on them and all the money that they've thrown to try to be competitive. So
that Big 12 could be like last year and come down to the last 2 weeks.
It will.
Where there's a whole lot of trash to have to unfold in those last 2 games.
Absolutely.
And Riddle, the only thing I'll say about the Texas Tech, the reason the confidence is there, even though they don't, they had a decent year last year. It's been proven. Ohio State won the title with the most expensive roster. One of the most expensive rosters in the SEC last year was Ole Miss, and they went out and beat Georgia handily, and were this close to making the playoffs. So I just think that money talks, and Texas Tech spent a lot. So. All right, I picked Jordan. You're picking the conference, and then you're leading us off.
Let's see here. This should be pretty unanimous. We'll go with the ACC. I'm going Clemson. Clemson should just run through that. They're just better than everybody in it.
Yeah.
If anybody could knock Clemson off, if Miami can get Beck going early, for him to have a good year, Miami could sneak in there and steal that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go a third in this conference. With the way the schedule is set up, there's a good chance North Carolina could find themselves into that championship game.
Bill Belichick, let's get it.
There's a good chance with their schedule they could find themselves in that title game. I'm not saying they have a shot to win it, but they could find themselves there. It could be an ugly blowout.
I like that. Tony, what do you got?
Yeah, I actually wrote down Clemson, and I did put by default just because we know what they have. I know, and I hate to say that too.
The real orange.
They're still good enough to slip up, And Miami can be good, but that's going to depend on Riddle's boy. But I don't know if he's got that Cam Ward in him, and I don't know how good Miami's defense is going to actually be. So, but if he plays good or well, half of anything what Ward did, then they could be right there in it for the last couple of weeks of the season at least.
Yeah,
not saying he will.
Yeah, I can see that. The conference to me seems like it's a little bit less than what it was last year. I don't know why I believe that. I just don't feel like I have as much. I feel like it's Clemson and that's it, and then everything else is kind of fighting for second. But Riddle, who do you got?
Yeah, I've got Clemson. I think they're the most complete team in that conference. My dark horse, though, and I'm going to talk on this later in another thing we're going to do, but my dark horse is Georgia Tech in the ACC. And I'll touch on the reasons why here in a little bit.
Okay. So I'll close this out on this one. My Clemson. So it's a 4-way across the way there, and I'm gonna say dark horse is Miami, and I'm gonna touch on why I think Miami's a dark horse in the segment we're gonna do later. So
Troy just came into the comments and said Florida State worst to first.
Yeah, right.
Troy, that's gonna all your hopes and dreams are gonna be squashed on Saturday. Don't even worry about it. All right, Tony.
With 7 L's.
Two conferences left. You pick.
Well, we'll say best for last. So I'm gonna go with Big Ten. That's gonna this damn team is probably gonna make me look like a fool. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm just gonna go with Penn State because everyone keeps talking them up. First off,
oh my god,
that's the for sure number 1 ranked team. Blah blah blah. So I'm just gonna pick them just to jinx these nerds that keep putting them in as the number 1 ranked.
They have no idea what just happened to them. A tsunami named Tony Pardo just went through Happy Valley.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Penn State.
Kippy wasn't happy with it. Kippy wasn't happy.
Well, guess what, Kippy? You're about to be very more unhappy because I don't have Indiana as a dark horse. So, it pains me to do it. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna say Oregon. You know what? I hope to see Ohio State fail. So give me Oregon. I like Dan Lanning. I just like Dan Lanning better. Now, maybe not as much as a playoff caliber type coach, but as a season, I think he can get the job done, at least win the conference.
Yeah, I mean, he ran into a buzzsaw. Riddle.
I have Penn State wrote down. It was hard to pick against Ohio State, even though they lost a lot from last year's team. They're still going to be really, really good up there. Really, that's a conference where you only got like 3 teams again. I mean, the bottom part of that conference is really bad. It truly is. I would love to say that UCLA was my dark horse. Nico led, Tennessee bred, but no, I was going to say Oregon is my dark horse too over there. Dan Lanning is a hell of a coach. I think they could, but I think it's going to be Ohio State and Penn State at the end. So,
All right. So I just want everyone to know I had Penn State and Oregon as my dark horse written down, but I'm going to change my pick because I want to be fucking ballsy. And I'm going to go way, way out in West fucking field. And I'm going the USC Trojans as my dark horse to win the conference. The USC Trojans. Massive pickups in the transfer portal. Massive pickups. I mean, hey, somebody's got to do it, man. We can't just all pick the same shit all the time.
I get it, but I mean, you also want to at least look a little smart,
well, I mean, Jordan said Tennessee was going to be in the Final Four at the first show of the fucking season, so I think we're all safe.
Look, I said something that could happen. You just can't be talking.
All right. Jordan,
who's your pick, Brendan?
I picked Penn State with USC as the dark horse.
Okay, USC's your. I thought USC.
No, USC's my dark horse.
Lord.
I just if what's that quarterback's name? Mava or he wasn't bad last year. He wasn't bad. Like when he came in, he wasn't bad, and they picked up some good. They have good O line and D line this year. So
it's just like
it's hard to pick them. I know.
I just think I've been a big Lincoln Riley hater for some years.
I hate him too,
and I just think he's not a good coach. So.
No defense, but offense is always there. I just say, hey, I'm going to go out on a limb. Jordan, you're up.
You a puncher's chance.
You're up, Jordan. Look at Colorado last year.
I'm going Ohio State. The Ohio State to win.
That's okay.
I think they're just better across the board than Penn State. If they can get quality quarterback play out of Julian Sayin, I think Ohio State wins it. My dark horse is Oregon. I love Dan Lanning. I love the hard-nosed, grinded approach he brings to his program. I love the way he's built his program. They are going to break through. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
If he said, mark his words, Indiana will be in the Big Ten championship game.
He also said the Hoosiers have the best QB in college football. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. But
who's their quarterback?
I don't even know his name. As the Rock once told me, it doesn't matter what his fucking name is. So anyway, all right, Kivy, we love you, brother. Don't take it to heart. So Riddle, we're down to one. Lead us off.
So the SEC, again, this is a conference where, depending on how you run your gauntlet, is whether or not you're going to be there. There is no East and West anymore. It's all you got to do is be in the top two. And even last year down the stretch, it was jumbled at the end, and just the way the games fell, this is why we got Texas and Georgia too. I'm gonna be a homer. I'm gonna pick Georgia as my SEC champion. I think Texas has got a great shot. I think LSU could possibly get there. I don't think they will. You never know what Alabama's going to do after the worst season they've had since Saban left, or since Saban started there. Diego Pavia has been speaking some strong words up there in Nashville.
Everything I said doesn't even fucking matter now.
My dark horse, and I actually hate saying this, but my dark horse, and they have the toughest schedule in the nation. But if they can, like I said, if they get through it, that Florida team could be really good. So I'm going to go with a true dark horse in the SEC and pick Florida as my dark horse. But I got Georgia winning it.
All right. Well, I'm going to be safe on this pick. I'm going to be safe.
I'm going
Texas. And I'm going to go with Georgia to win the SEC because until someone knocks them off, they're it. And my dark horse is the team that everyone is writing off, and that is Alabama, because I think they do have all the pieces. Several major pundits that aren't associated with Alabama, Jordan, mark that down, have picked Alabama to win it all, including Josh Pate. Now, I'm not saying they'll do that. I just said they have a shot to win the SEC as a dark horse. So I do think if the quarterback steps up and plays well, we have all the pieces in there to really make a run, but that's a big if. So I'll give us a dark horse, a puncher's chance. Jordan, who you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Texas to win. If Arch Manning gives any kind of quarterback play, I really like this Texas team this year. It pains me to say that. Good God, it pains me to say that. Fucking horns down. But I do think Texas breaks through and gets it done this year. Dark horse. I'm going to roll with Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss could sneak in there and cause people some problems. We know they're going to score points. If they can get 2 stops a game, that's all they need.
Yeah, I mean,
Jordan, you took a there. I thought you were about to stick with your.
I'm really surprised how a top 4 team isn't even the dark horse candidate in the SEC.
No, that's a team that's going to grow as the year goes.
Okay, touche.
I don't think they'll even make it in the game. I mean, all you got to do is get the playoff. You need to sit at the table.
You're right. Tony.
Yeah, I also unfortunately took UT Junior as the SEC champs, and I mean, even last year, I think a lot of Horns fans thought that they would have actually been better off with Arch Manning at quarterback. They go back and read Reddit and all this stuff. They felt like that.
Oh, Steve Spurrier.
If in the playoffs, they thought that he probably would have played better than what they had out there. So yeah, I'm gonna go take the burnt orange, and then dark horse. I think I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Boom.
I'm going to go Alabama just because they do have the weapons and shit.
Tony,
and they're gonna be a tough out. If they get the good quarterback play.
When I was watching you, Tony, your lips looked like it was saying Vandy. When I was watching Tony, I thought Vandy was coming out of his mouth.
We're gonna have to start putting that little segment of Tony having the battle in the mirror up here. He keeps talking about Alabama like that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it's Todd Simpson.
Tony's trying to put that curse on us. That's what he's trying to do,
Troy.
You're welcome.
All right. So with that said, we're going to move on to the host hot take. This one is it's very simple. We're starting the season. So what I want from you, Jordan, and I'll let you kick it off, is your most take it to the bank. You're going to bet your house on it prediction. And then I want a wild prediction that no one else is going to think of, something that's kind of out there, off the beaten path, essentially, to give our viewers and listeners something to think about.
If you remember last week, I said I thought Hugh Freeze wouldn't be unemployed by the Iron Bowl. I've done a little digging, a little research on that. I will backtrack on that just because of what his buyout is. If there's any coach in the SEC fired this year, it'll be Sam Pittman. Yes. Sam will be the only coach. If you notice, it takes right around that 10 million mark on the buyout. It seems that's kind of the magic number. He's the only one remotely close to that. Everybody else is 20 plus. So I don't think, Florida could go, 5-7. I don't think Sunbelt Billy still has a job next year just because they're not going to pay him almost $30 million to buy him out, 28, whatever his buyout is.
And just so all the listeners know, revenue share plays a big part of that too. No one wants to give up their piece of the pie. Go ahead, Jordan.
So I do think Sam Pittman, this is his last year at Arkansas. I just don't see a good year coming out for them. And off the wall, let's see. I had part one ready. I was not prepared for you to throw the curveball on number 2.
I'm sorry, brother.
Off the wall prediction. I believe Boise State gets the group of 5 nod to the playoffs and wins 2 games. 2 games in the playoff.
That is
shocks the world. There you want something off the wall. There it is.
That's freaking bold, brother. All right. Tony, you're up.
So we're doing a legit take. All right. So
now you're just what you were going to bet on. If you had to bet your house payment.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I want to bet the house on this, but surely to God, at some point, something like this got to stop. I think University of Georgia records 0 arrests this season for driving and receives the key to Athens City Hall for a clean driving record as a team.
Hey, Brian, there's a Georgia player arrested no predictions bust.
Georgia has no hope now because every player will be arrested on a bus tomorrow, high on weed or something.
I want to say this: Tennessee is the most recent person with a driving infraction.
We got a lot of catching up to do. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Okay,
now
Tony.
Something else though, but seriously, one I can see this happening possibly. I can see. Maybe towards the end of the year, I think Oklahoma's going to stink it up again. Venables will be fired. Obviously they're going to have to do something this year. I just feel like he's on the hot. You said that. I know you said that last year, but come on, how many years you guys suck though? Oklahoma, they don't. Yeah, but Oklahoma, I feel like they have standards, do they not? Anyways, this is just me. This is me speaking though. Anyways,
hey Tony, can you say why that'll never happen?
What? I'm not. What?
Brent Venables' buyout is $44 million.
Ooh. Oklahoma don't have that money.
They probably do, but they don't want to give it to him.
I'm still gonna roll with it. Fuck it. Venables gonna get fired. Okay. And then USC fires Lincoln Riley because I don't like him. And then Oklahoma takes Lincoln Riley back. Fuck it.
Golly.
Damn, Tony, you just went.
Right there.
All right.
Hey, I will say, I know Jeff has to be excited about one of the newest sponsors that Georgia picked up. Word is they picked up Tesla as a sponsor for all those self-driving cars, trying to cut those infractions down.
That beats the hell. That beats the hell out of the one I saw today with someone having dude wipes. So anyway, Riddle, I need a sane prediction, not none of this bullshit these guys are throwing out.
All right, so there's a lot of college and especially college royalty, I guess you could say, and some NFL legends head coaching now in the college football ranks. You got Eddie George at Bowling Green, Michael Vick's at Norfolk State, Deshaun Jackson's at Delaware State, Bill Belichick's at North Carolina, And then Frank Reich's out there at Stanford, and we already saw them lose to Hawaii. But my most sane prediction is that Bill Belichick and Eddie George will have winning records. I'm not going to go too outlandish there, but those two will have winning records in their first year at their new schools. And Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson, and Frank Reich will not. And then my wild hot take, and this is where I think Georgia Tech is going to win 10 games this year and play for an ACC title. And the reason is
absolutely right.
Is if you look at their schedule, they got 2 ranked opponents right now, Clemson and Georgia. They got them both at home. And their road games this year are at Colorado, which is, I believe, Friday night.
Yes.
And then Wake Forest, Duke, North Carolina State, and Boston College. That's their road games.
So we're going to know right off the rip whether they're good.
That's a damn Indiana schedule there.
And they got a lot returning on both sides of the ball. I mean, their top receiver did transfer out, but Haynes King and Justice Haynes are back, or Jamal Haynes, sorry. That combo, you saw how they played Georgia. I mean, they played their ass off in that game, and rivalry games are different. But I just think that they could make a run at the ACC. I mean, who else outside of Clemson and Miami and maybe SMU do you have in that conference? And all they play this year in conference is Clemson.
Troy said Florida State, so I just wanted to make that known. All right, so I'm gonna go with
Howell Norvell with 7 L's.
I'm gonna go with the bold pick, and this is nothing, but I'm gonna say Penn State, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, and Clemson all make the playoffs right off the rip. I think that's a very safe guarantee, just because of schedules and who they are. I think they're all in the playoffs. That doesn't mean that there's not other teams. I just mean those pretty much a guarantee. The wild pick, and I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see every one of y'all's fucking faces when I say this. I have a Heisman Trophy winner. And we ain't even played a fucking game yet. Not one that matters. And that's Carson Beck wins the Heisman with a Miami schedule. With a Miami schedule. I think he goes out there and I think he puts up big numbers to prove himself. And we saw what Cam Ward did.
Cam Ward.
I know he's not. I know he's not.
He's going to put up bigger than Cam Ward?
No, but I don't think there's a Travis Hunter out there either. I don't think there's a Travis Hunter or an Ashton Genty.
My hot take was crazy. That's crazy because Cam Ward couldn't even win the Heisman. And he put it gaudy ass numbers, and it's not. It's not his fault.
I said it had to be wild and crazy. I said it had to be wild and crazy.
It is wild and crazy. But here's my thing, and we talked about this a lot last year. Yes, Carson Beck put up decent numbers last year, but it was more than that if you actually watched him.
Yeah, and I know.
Without Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers, he struggled. And you think he's going to have the talent at Miami that he did at Georgia, even Georgia last year?
I think he's not going to play against the defenses that Georgia played against.
I agree.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm saying, like, if you look, dude, nobody Miami played had a defense. Nobody they played had a defense. Name one team that had a defense that they played. Maybe did they even play Clemson? And I don't even know if they played them. Anyway, it's wild. I know it's a wild take. I'm sorry.
Troy said, "Well."
So we're gonna go into our top 25 and marquee matchups for the year. We're kind of combining this, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna rip this Band-Aid off, and we're gonna start with number 1 Texas at the Ohio State, and I have Ohio State as a 1.5 point favorite. Is that what you guys got? We all in agreement there? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start.
Is it 1.5 now?
Yeah, that's what I had, but I'm gonna go with Riddle. Start us off. All right.
So the defending national champions host the team with arguably the most hype to climb that mountain and knock Ohio State.
I've ever heard of, really.
Off the pedestal. The spread is Ohio State's the favorite 1.5. This game's it's going to come down to which young quarterback makes the fewest mistakes. I think both of these teams have good defenses. I think they have the talent on offense to put up points against those defenses. It's very hard to go on the road and win a game of this magnitude. And Matt Patricia takes over as defense coordinator up there at Ohio State. I think he'll have that defense ready to go. I think it's going to be really close, like the spread says, but I can't pick against Ohio State in this game. I'm actually going to pick Ohio State in this one.
Jordan.
Yeah, I'm going the other way on this one. I'll take Texas plus the 1.5. Arch Manning won't have to have a big game for Texas to win this. There's a real good shot that Baxter and Wisner could combine for over 300 on the ground. Texas is going to have a strong rush attack. They're going to look to run the ball to take the load off of Arch. And I think Texas gets it done. I think Texas is better across the board in every position group. So I'm going to take the Longhorns.
Better at wide receiver?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Maybe,
That's why I asked the question.
Receiver, outside of, as a whole.
Tony,
Don't forget about Cordell Tate up there now.
you cannot question Ohio State's ability at wide receiver. They have put out wide receivers. They have put them out. Okay, Tony, you're up. Go ahead, share your piece.
Yeah, I'm also going Texas, and I'm taking them, as the 1.5. I just think Ohio State, obviously, they have all the talent, probably the best wide receiver in the nation. The other wide receivers aren't worth mentioning. Don't care what you say. I just feel like, though they did, even though with all the talent they have, I feel like at this moment they've lost too much leadership from last year's team, and that starts with Captain Jack. If it wasn't for him, they probably wouldn't even come close to making a championship game. Hell, he won a couple playoff games by fucking self. So. And so I'm gonna take a Manning-led, Longhorn team over Ohio State.
They got Captain Downs on defense now.
No,
he's no Captain Jack. No, he's not Jack.
He's no Captain Jack.
Jack.
Riddle, you already went, so I'll go ahead.
It's on you now.
So bottom line is I was really thinking long and hard about Texas. And then Jordan gave me that same fucking speech he gave me last year when Tennessee was going in there. And I just fucking about lost it.
I didn't give him any speech
But I'm going to stick with Texas. And the reason why, Riddle, is you actually alluded to it. Not only do they have a new defensive coordinator, I understand that it's going to be very similar. Matt Patricia is a fantastic coordinator. I think it was a great hire. You also got Brian Hartline taking over at offense, and I know it's going to be the same style of offense, but that's a lot of transition and a new quarterback. It's just a lot, and I think Arch Manning's the real deal. We can say what we want. I think he has the pedigree. I haven't seen one Manning be shitty yet, so I'm going to stick with the Mannings.
I agree on the Manning thing, but honestly, the swaying point for me, because this game is almost as evenly matched as you can get it.
This is a good game.
The swaying point for me was the first Georgia game last year.
Yeah.
They put Arch in there thinking that was going to, give them some, hype a little bit, hype them up, get them going. He went in there, and I know he was a freshman, and I know Tony hates talking about freshmen, but he looked like a deer in headlights, and he couldn't do anything against Georgia. Yeah. Now, Georgia's different level, but this is going to be one of the biggest atmospheres he's had to play in. And it's like I said, it's going to come down to which QB can make the fewest mistakes.
Yeah. And
there's a chance with two young QBs that this could get ugly one way or the other very quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And based on that, Riddle, I'm going to go with the kid that has one additional year in college, and I'm going to go with Arch.
I agree.
Because there is something to be said against playing against every day at practice, real talented players, not high school. And Julian's Hayden, I think he's going to be a tremendous quarterback. I think Arch is already going to be a good quarterback. But yeah, okay. Well, there you go. A little bit of a disagreement there, but it's nothing too crazy. So next game we've got is Syracuse at number 24, UT Junior. So I've got UT Junior as a 13.5 point favorite. Yep. I got UT Junior as 13.5 point favorite. Jordan, lead the way, brother.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the stats of this one. I know Jeff will have that covered in a minute. I will say right now, Vols are 4-0 under Josh Heupel in season openers, winning by an average margin of 47.25 points. They're also 4-1 against the ACC under Josh Heupel, winning by an average of 18.5 or almost 19 points a game. I like Fran Brown as a coach. But this game's going to come down to the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's. Tennessee has too much firepower. Miles Kitselman has a big day. Tennessee rolls.
Yeah. Okay. Tony.
Yep. Yeah, I'm taking a real UT at the 13.5. This isn't even a real question, and I got to save this for later. So, yeah, give me the real UT as we,
this game would have been a lot better matchup last year.
Yeah.
Oh, last year, 100%.
It would have.
I'm going to allude to that, and I'm sure.
Because Nico would have found a way to fuck that game up, I guarantee it. But, yeah, so Orange Juice is going to be on the house, baby. Down in Atlanta.
Hey, man.
Went a little fishing.
Hey, listen, when Nico's in New York at the end of the year, I don't want you to be mad now, bro. I don't want you
What's
to
he going to be doing? Is he going to be watching the Heisman, watching all the other candidates?
Yeah, he's there in person. He's there in person.
He's watching the other candidates get
Broadway
shit.
I didn't say he was going to be one of the guys getting voted on.
Is there a fashion show going on? What's up?
All right. Riddle, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'll just start off by saying that ESPN Analytics have this at 88.6% Tennessee's way. Syracuse had a great year last year. Like Jordan said, they went 10-3. They won their bowl game, but this team is not last year's team. Kyle McCord, 4,779 yards passing. LaQuint Allen Jr., 1,021 yards rushing. Jackson Meeks, 1,021 yards receiving. Pena, 84 receptions, 941 yards, 9 touchdowns. He transferred to Penn State. On defense, Justin Barron, 88 tackles, 2 sacks. Fadil Diggs, 7.5 sacks. Clarence Lewis, 12 passes defended, which was, I think, tied for 4th or 5th in the nation. 1 interception, 37 tackles. All those guys are gone. All of them to the NFL, except for Pena, who transferred to Penn State. Notre Dame transfer quarterback, Steve Angeli, I think is his name, is the starting quarterback there. He did go 6 for 7 for 44 yards in the playoff against Penn State, but they're just not going to have enough in this one. My key players, I had Kitselman down 6'5", 245 tight end. I think he's going to have a big day. We'll get to see what Aguilar, the gunslinger, is going to do. You know he's going to go everywhere, and probably one of the best defensive backs in the country. We get to watch him, Jamad McCoy. I think Tennessee wins big here. I don't think that 13.5 is going to be enough.
No, I'm going to go ahead and just
have one question.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Brandon. Then I have a question.
No, I'm just going to say I've got UT easily winning this. I think we all alluded to Syracuse lost too much. It doesn't matter how they lost it. They're not going to have the dogs to stay in the trenches with Tennessee. And it's at Tennessee. There's no shot. So Tennessee, I'm taking Tennessee in the points. All right, go ahead, Jordan. What's your question?
Hey, and I'm sure some of the OGs like Kippy may remember this. Do y'all remember last year when Brandon picked the Fighting Kyle McCords and he come out through 3 pick sixes in the first half?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Who was that against?
It was
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
I think so.
And
Pittsburgh, he comes out, throws that 3.
And I want everyone to know.
He comes out, scores 21 for Pittsburgh.
I want everyone to know. I believe Syracuse finished better than Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh sucked ass because I picked them the rest of the year and they sucked ass.
Yeah, they fell apart after that one game.
Yeah, that one game they were all Americans. But all right, so moving on. Number 8, Alabama at Florida State University. Free shoes you. Bama 13.5 point favorite. We'll go ahead and Tony, take it away.
Alabama, give me the 13.5. Now I know Gus Malzahn, he is at Florida State. You don't have to remind Bama fans, what he's capable of doing, going back to the Auburn days. But this is Florida State now. This team, question marks everywhere. Don't exactly know what they have at any positions, so I just think it's going to be a lot of. I think Florida State's they're going to be trying to figure out who the hell is going to be starting where. That's not good. Obviously, going into Alabama, who pretty much knows what they got. I don't care if it's at Tallahassee or not. This shouldn't even be close either. In my opinion, maybe at the very beginning, Florida State comes out hype. Keeps it somewhat close in that first quarter. But I think as time goes on, Alabama pretty much just has a way. So, yeah, I'm going to take that Alabama 13.5.
All right, Riddle.
Yeah, so this is only the 6th time that these two teams have played. Alabama holds a 3-1-1 record against Florida State. One thing I thought was interesting, this will be the first time Alabama has ever played in Tallahassee at Doak Campbell Stadium. So I thought that was pretty cool. This stat's just still crazy to read off. Alabama's coming off a 9-4 season, which is the worst since 2007. A lot of teams wish they could have a 9-4 season. Ty Simpson's taking over. Now, I know you're going to talk about that. Florida State, Boston College transfer quarterback Tommy Castellanos is going to be the starting quarterback in this one.
He's Italian.
Tennessee,
He's no good.
Tennessee wide receiver Squirrel White will be lining up as the number 2 receiver on offense.
That's tough.
Norvell hit the portal hard and hopes to rebound from that 2-10 season last year.
He went to the wrong teams to recruit.
This one is one of those. Now, I will say this. Early in the year, those first few drives, they're scripted. You try to stick to the script on those. They can go either way. You're wanting to ease into a game. So, like Tony said, that first quarter might be close, but I think Alabama's going to pull away big by the end of this one.
All right, Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot. What do we have this at? 13.5?
Yes,
yeah, 13.5.
I mean, my power ratings say Florida State should at least get the cover at home, but I'm a real analytical guy, but I can't even roll with those. I'm not, I can't roll with those numbers here. Alabama's better at every position. I mean, every position they're better. Alabama wins this comfortable, probably 49-10-ish.
All right, I don't have Jordan's confidence by any stretch of the imagination. I do think it more like Riddle. It's going to start out a little slower. Tony, they'll have a little initial burst, it being at home. I do think Alabama is the deeper team. I do think Florida State has one of the most senior-ridden teams of anyone in the nation. They went out and got every starting lineman is a fifth-year senior. Quarterback's a fifth-year senior. Roydell Williams is a sixth-year senior from Alabama at running back. They have tons, Squirrel White, fifth-year senior, tons of experience, but they went out and just patched a team together to try to put something on paper to do something, and I don't necessarily think it's going to pay off for them. I don't think they have the talent that people think they do. I do think they're a better team this year. I want to make sure I note that. And I do think it'll be close for a little bit, but I think Alabama pulls away. This isn't a beating our chest moment. This is just this. We need to go out and handle business. And for most people that Doak Campbell, it's not the same as an SEC, but it's about as close to an SEC game as you can get down there. It's going to be a tough atmosphere. It's going to be hot. Everyone knows in the fall. Early on August, it's hot down in Florida, so it'll be a tough game for us to start off the season with, but it's going to hopefully springboard us into a better season this year. So I'm going to go Bama and the points. Okay, number 9, LSU at number 4, Clemson and the real Death Valley. If you don't run down the hill and touch a rock, you ain't a Death Valley to me. I've got Clemson at negative. I got Clemson at -4. Jordan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm going Clemson -4 in this game. I believe right now at this point in the season, I mean, we don't know a lot, but I believe Clemson probably has the best team in the country right now. Some teams can grow as the season goes and take that role. Their offensive line is probably going to be the best offensive line in the country. This is a revenge spot for Clemson, believe it or not, after that 2020 title game loss, 42-25. They got embarrassed. Dabo Swinney in revenge spots holds a 24-10 record at Clemson. And I did not think about this until earlier. I went back and did a little digging. LSU is 0-5 the last 5 years in season openers. I think it goes to 0-6. I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly, never have been. I'm not sure why LSU thought he was the answer, but they did. But Clemson gets it done. Clemson covers the 4.
All right.
Go Tigers. The orange ones.
Tony.
Yeah, Jordan pretty much hit the nail on the head. I'm taking Clemson as that 4-point favorite there. Listen, I dislike both teams and coaches. I think both are fucking crybabies. But I believe I just dislike Brian Kelly even more. Dude's a fucking loser. I will just say that. So give me the Tigers.
The orange ones. All right, Riddle.
Yeah, the battle of the true Death Valley, the battle of the true Tigers. This one's analytics wise, it's really close if you look it up on multiple different sites. I don't think no two teams outside of Austin had more hype coming into this season with the experience they're returning at quarterback. But Jordan alluded to them being 0-5 in their last 5. Brian Kelly's 0-3. He's lost to Florida State twice and USC last year. And I believe that USC team won 5 or 6 games. It wasn't a good USC team he lost to. Dabo Swinney is 17-10 against the SEC in the college football playoff era, and he's lost 7 of the last 10. I thought that was pretty surprising. But Clemson is also 102-11 at home under Dabo Swinney, so they don't lose a lot there. Harold Perkins and Whit Weeks, because Perkins is supposed to return. Whit Weeks, he's a solid linebacker for LSU.
Game, isn't it?
I believe it's at Clemson.
Yeah, it's at Clemson.
It's at Clemson. We get to watch Dabo Swinney do the most show me or look at me thing in college football when he runs down the hill.
I was thinking it was in Atlanta as well.
I do think Clemson's going to cover this. Klubnik, 3,639 yards passing last year, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's efficient. He's smart with a football. He doesn't turn it over a lot. And then TJ Parker on the end and Avion Terrell at corner. Both of those guys are very solid on the defensive side. I've got Clemson winning this one and covered.
Right. So I like what you said. LSU has some great defenders, and they're not anywhere near the best defenders on the field because you got Peter Woods over there and TJ Parker, who are absolutely probably both going to be top 15 picks in the NFL draft next year. And I think they're going to control that line of scrimmage very easily because the one thing that LSU has never had under Brian Kelly is an offensive line. And I have no reason to believe they found one this offseason. The other thing is Clemson got very serious about defense in the offseason by hiring Tom Allen. I think we all can agree outside of maybe Patricia and maybe Jim Knowles for Penn State. I think that's probably one of the most impactful hires in all of college football. And that to me tells me that Dabo is very serious about getting serious about defense. And he's always had a pretty decent offense. So I think this is an easy Clemson win. I don't even think it's close. And when I say close, I mean it's going to be double-digit win for Clemson in my mind. So I'm going to go Clemson in the points.
There was a talking about Brian Kelly. I saw a stat, and I should have wrote it down. It was on X. I was just kind of scrolling through, saw it. There was a certain, maybe it's against top 25 teams or whatever, or top 10 teams. When he was at Notre Dame, he didn't have a single win. LSU had 5 or 6.
Yep.
Now that he's at LSU, they don't have a single win. Notre Dame has 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Crazy. I saw that too.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact wording of it, but
I mean, we all agree Freeman's the better coach. Every one of us would take Freeman.
Oh yeah.
And Freeman,
I'm the problem.
Yeah, I mean, so they both have been to one title game, so they got that going for them. But anyway, so last game that we're going to pick, and this is, speaking of Freeman, number 6 Notre Dame at number 10 Miami. And it's got a 2.5 point spread, and I believe it's Notre Dame. So
yes,
I'm going to start with Riddle. Who do you have?
All right. I had fun digging into this one because this is the convicts and the Catholics, baby.
Oh, you stole my shit.
Well, you can say it too. But this game was played every year from 71 to 1990, with the exception being 1986. Notre Dame dominated the 70s. They went 9-0. Miami had the advantage in the 80s, going 6-3. Notre Dame hasn't beat Miami in Miami since 1977. I thought that was pretty good.
That's interesting. So.
Miami's lost a lot. Their leading tackler, their top 2 receivers, obviously Cam Ward's a Tennessee Titan now. On defense, Tyler Barron and Simeon Barrow, both had 5.5 sacks that led the team. They're gone. CJ Carr was named the starting quarterback for Notre Dame. It's another, young guy taking over at a top school. That's a lot of that going on this year. What swung it for me was diving into Notre Dame. I know Jeremiah Love's returning at running back, and everybody's really high on them. With Carr being at quarterback, I think Notre Dame is going to rely really heavy on that run game. If you look at what Notre Dame did against the top 10 teams they played in the playoffs, take away the 98-yard run, which was the second run of the game against Indiana, and he had 28 carries for 78 yards in the entirety of the playoff. He had 8 for 108 against Indiana. One of those was for 98 yards, so he had 7 for 10 the rest of the game. He was 6 for 19 against Georgia, 11 for 46 against Penn State, and he had 4 carries for 3 yards against Ohio State. I'm not saying that Miami has that caliber of defense that those teams did, because all those teams had really good defense. But they're going to have to rely on that running game, and if Miami can stop it, I've got Miami winning this one. I'm taking the 2.5 and picking Miami.
There you go. All right, Jordan, you're up. It sounds like you kind of agree.
Yeah, absolutely. The key to winning this game for Notre Dame is to run the ball, take that pressure off of Carr. I think Miami can stop Notre Dame's running game. And if they get back going early, I think Miami might cruise in this game late. So I'm going to take the Hurricanes plus 2.5.
All right. Tony.
I would not be doing what you guys said. I'm taking Notre Dame. 2.5. Catholics versus convicts. That was
stolen.
Honestly, outside of the QB spot, obviously Notre Dame's a little questionable there. I feel like Notre Dame's better at almost any fucking position. You compare both of them together, and not only that, I still feel like obviously they have the better coach. I'm not a huge fan of Cristobal down there. I think sometimes he's a little bit moron when it comes to game management shit. So hell, I'm gonna take the guy who almost won it all last year. Give me Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman led Irish.
All right. Well, it's down to me in the last little bit here, and I'm gonna go with Miami. And 1, being at home. 2, I am leaning more and more and more on a quarterback-driven league, and I think Carson Beck clearly is defining. And here's the deal: we can say whatever we want, but last year Notre Dame actually did have a threat at QB. This year they don't have a threat at all yet. That doesn't mean they can't grow and get better. I think Miami's a tough out, and for some reason I just got Cristobal really. They did lose a lot, but they added some stuff, and they spend money down there, and I think they have a good team. I don't think they're going to win it all or anything like that. And I just got Notre Dame taking just a hair of a step back this year. I'm not saying they're probably still going to make the playoffs because their schedule is atrocious. Indiana's schedule looks like it's an SEC team schedule versus Notre Dame's schedule, and that's with this game too. I think Notre Dame's schedule's horrendous, but I got Miami winning this one, so I'm going to go with Miami in the upset.
Schedule didn't matter last year.
No, they won't matter this year, Tony. They can all talk that shit out their ass. It don't matter. Whoever's 11-1, you get a playoff bid. You get a playoff bid. You get a playoff bid. All you got to do is be 11-1. It doesn't fucking matter. All right. So with that said, we didn't really have a lot of fan chat. We had Troy in here just pretty much blessing Pardo for not picking them in a lot of his picks. But we are to that section where we're going to try to end and wrap up, but we're at Pardo's Pour. No. We're not at Pardo's Pour. I got you this week, Riddle. Go ahead and give us the answer because I did not see it come through.
This is what I want to do because nobody got the correct answer. So what we'll do is Saturday, we usually have a lot more traction on Saturdays with the games going on and everything. When we come on the air Saturday, I'll ask the question again, and then if we get the correct answer Saturday, then we'll take those, and then if not, Chad, the question was, hang on, since you're in here, nobody else has got it right. You get a free run at it. Where the hell did it go? Okay. So the BCS era ran from 1998 to 2013 with 125 rankings revealed, those being the BCS rankings from week 10 on. So 125 rankings, 17 teams holding the number one spot at least once. What team spent the most weeks as the number one ranked team in the entirety of the BCS era? And if you get it right, you'll get the most points for the trivia this week. But we're still going to run it again Saturday because nobody's gotten it right yet.
Yeah. So we are now to the section. I like your style, Riddle. So we'll go ahead and move on. We're at Pardo's Pour, where Pardo gives us his one thing that he's heard this week or he's seen in the media that grinds his gears. So go ahead, Tony, and have at it.
Well, just before I start off, this, Pardo's Pour, this rage was brought to you by Buffalo Trace. Keeping it simple for everyone.
Amen, brother. Amen.
So, we're finally here. This is finally the week. I've been I'm really eager for this this weekend, especially pertaining to my Vols. My Vols have been highly disrespected since these stupid fucking rankings came out by some idiots, some nerds. This is just this is a statement week for the fucking Vols, okay? This is a statement week for the Vols, and it's time to silence these fucking clowns, these idiots that claim to know ball. They don't know ball, right? So
Certified ball.
I'm gonna get this off my chest, and I'm never gonna speak of this bullshit ever again. Losing Nico doesn't hurt or help Tennessee. Don't care what anyone says in the win or loss column at all. Considering he basically did jack shit last season in the games that mattered. So let's stop acting like he just carried the team on his back, because that's not what happened. Tennessee literally got better at the majority positions. I know QB still question. I still think QB position still be better. Yeah, we lost Sampson, but we still have the talented running backs. And what's one thing Heupel's done since he's been here is we've always had a run game, and now all of a sudden the shit's just going to stop? I don't think so. Now, Coach Hype, he knows how to run offense. I know it hasn't been the same, I feel like, since Golish left. But until they literally just stop scoring points, then I'm going to expect the Vols to continue to compete. Now, I didn't say win every game. Mm-hmm. They're going to compete. They're going to be in games. Hell, defense is still going to be good this year. Defense is going to be good enough to keep them in games this year. Again, it's just going to come down to QB play. It's just, I can't wait for Tennessee to put their fucking foot up Syracuse ass this Saturday. Kind of like I remember last year. So I remember last year too, going against NC State, and still questions there with Nico, right? Which Nico really didn't play all that well in that game. Tennessee still put a pretty good ass whipping on NC State. But you know what they said last year, NC State ain't good. So I'm sure we have some morons that are probably gonna pick Syracuse, right, because they lost Nico. So if Tennessee when they win, actually, not if. I don't want to hear any bullshit saying, well, Syracuse isn't any good. I don't want to hear it. And when Aguilar has a better season than Nico this season, because it's going to fucking happen. Don't care what anyone says. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything, I don't want to hear anything about, Aguilar, he's got better surrounding cast. Because guess who doesn't out there in La La Land? It's not him. Definitely not fucking him. So, I'm just going to keep sipping.
Okay.
And the haters going to keep bitching.
All right.
When Tennessee keeps putting up a weekly dub.
To say that.
I know.
He's been fiending for this one.
Tony, the only thing I'm going to say is I'm going to let you know right now, Syracuse fucking sucks. Please don't act. I'm just saying it before the game's even played. They suck. They're not going to beat Tennessee. So I'm on recorded saying that.
No, because if they lose, then they're going to say, well, it's because they don't have Nico. Nah, you can't have it both fucking ways now.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
Apparently, supposedly Aguilar is supposed to throw 5 interceptions a game. So, apparently.
God. Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw the
we need more Buffalo Trace.
Josh Heupel has been extended through the 2030 season.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Saw this number today, and of course, I lived it. I tried to think about it, trying to remember it. In his first 4 seasons, Josh Heupel has won 37 games on Rocky Top. In the 4 seasons previous, they had won 20 games. That's a plus 17 difference. It's time people start respecting Coach Heupel for the coach that he is. I'm not saying he's the greatest out there, but he's a lot better. Like coach. I told you were talking about the night, Brandon, in our group chat. I mean, you got to have continuity starting somewhere.
Yep.
I mean, that's the first coach that we've extended since Fat Phil.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
I mean, I just want to add to that in Tennessee's defense. I mean, Georgia, we've had 2 coaches since 2000. That's it. We had Rick. Now we got Kirby Smart. So we haven't had a lot of turnover. When you have those coaches stay, and it's a key, you have to build a program. You got to get the guys you want in there. I mean, Tennessee, they went through, after Fulmer was fired, it was Kiffin, Dooley, Butch Jones, Pruitt. I mean, good Lord, that the damn shit they had to endure.
What an idiot. There's a lot of Tennessee fans that still hate Kiffin to this day. I don't hate the guy. If I would have been a young head coach, if I'm at Southern Cal and Tennessee calls, guess what? I'm doing the same move.
Taking over for Pete Carroll? Taking over for Pete Carroll? Who wouldn't?
It was his dream job. It was his dream job.
I mean, who wouldn't do that?
Freshwaters and Ole Miss.
Yeah. And look what he's doing. Look what he's doing at Ole Miss.
Yeah, he's turned them around.
A big turnaround. Big turnaround. So we're going to do a little quick closing. Tony, anything you want to add on your soliloquy?
No, I think I got it out of me. I feel good now.
Okay, good. I'm glad you got it out.
Cortisol levels are dropping as we speak.
Every time you go on that segment, it's like you taking a big shit, just like
pretty much.
All right, Riddle, anything to add?
I'm just wanting to add that we talked about this being week 1. It's a big weekend. There's a full slate of games starting tomorrow night. Running all weekend. So
start tomorrow afternoon.
Yes,
yeah, right. Yeah, 4:30, and then it's there are some fun games to watch that are interesting. I talked earlier about Delaware and Delaware State. That one's tomorrow. If you like smaller program football, but Deshaun Jackson taking over at Delaware State. That there's a full slate Thursday. There's a full slate Friday. Of course, you get a bunch of games Saturday. Looks like Illinois plays Friday night. Tony, if you want to watch them,
you better go ahead and mark that on the calendar. Probably not.
No, I'm gonna go.
Kansas plays Friday.
Tomorrow night's what? Nebraska at Cincinnati. That should be
no. Is the Boise game?
Yeah,
the Boise's tomorrow.
Boise's
night, right?
at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, yeah.
It's an early game.
Oh, you talking about tonight? Okay.
Friday night, you got Georgia Tech and Colorado out there in Colorado. So
that kicks off at 9, doesn't it?
But you also got Auburn at Baylor.
Yep,
Auburn at Baylor, which to me is the one I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching that.
Like we've got a full slate for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I believe you've got
premier game on Sunday.
Yeah, you've got Notre Dame, Miami on Sunday, but then Monday night you get Bill Belichick's debut at North Carolina against TCU. So
don't forget that Virginia Tech, South
Carolina Sunday.
Dude, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a good game.
There's football for the next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days of just good college football.
This much credit. They've done a good job after now that
thank you for following.
Used to the college, it was still everybody played Saturday. They've opened up, took this entire weekend over, and they're getting better about spacing out some watchable games. I mean, I remember you'd have some Thursday nights of that opening Thursday night be Georgia Tech and Boston College, two 2-10 teams facing off, and you're like, dude, I would rather listen to paint dry than watch this. They're doing a better job about getting some of these matchups that you probably wouldn't get a chance to catch. That should be fun.
Right.
I agree. I'm very excited. So
I don't give the NCAA a lot of credit, but I'll give them that much.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like they're doing like the NFL. They're starting to really push and promote. You got to promote your Thursday nights. You got to promote your Friday night games. whatever that game is, if you're gonna take the time to put it on TV, it better be a damn good one, or at least have a good one to captivate the audience.
Better be worth your production time.
Exactly, because this year I got YouTube TV, so I can watch 4 games at once. So I'm gonna be all over it. All right, that's gonna do it for us tonight at Lock, Loaded, and Goated. We're gonna be back on Saturday night at 8:30 to kind of review all the games that have transpired up until that point. We're going to watch a few games with you guys, so we look forward to having you then. Those of you that have not done so, please go like, follow, subscribe, do all that goodness. We are on TikTok, Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. We are also available via podcast in the audio form on Amazon, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We would love it if you'd go over there, like, follow, subscribe, do all that goodness over there. And that's going to do it for all of us at Lock, Loaded, and Goated. Please, 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 let's watch some football this weekend, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Hey, and don't forget that we are in 1440p high def on YouTube. Y'all want to see this beautiful face in high def?
10-4. See you guys.